to quote a particular scripture this morning. I'm just going to give you the topic and go into the message. Today's message is entitled Nuggets from the Story of Job. Nuggets from the Story of Job. There's no central theme to today's message or a particular verse or a set of verses being used as a text. My assignment today is to drop a few nuggets based on the story of the biblical character Job. Job was not a prophet. Job was not a priest, warrior, or king. Job was just a man who believed in God, who happened to be wealthy. Job was just the average Job. Throw a little poet in there. Job's story is contained in the eponymous book of Job, a book in the Christian Bible attributed to an unknown author. That kind of slid in my studies and in my preparations as the first nugget. Be careful how you live, because somebody might be telling your story one day. Let me say that again for the people that missed it. Be careful how you live, because somebody might be reading your story or telling your story one day. The book of Job begins by telling us that Job was perfect and upright, feared God, and shunned evil. That's verse 1. And verse 1 just tells us that about him, gives us a prologue, who he is. In verse 2, the Bible tells us that Job had children. Tells us that Job had children. And if you're not familiar with the story of Job, I encourage you to get familiar. Read the book. Find out what all Job had and find out what went on with Job. What all went on. Because I can't contain it all in this one message. If you read on, though, past verse 2, you will read that Job sanctified, offered sacrifices for, and prayed for his children continually. Job knew that you can teach your children right, but that does not guarantee that they will always do right. The old saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. Job knew that that was a possibility. His children might be doing some stuff they shouldn't be doing. And so every day, continually it says, he sanctified them. He offered sacrifice for them. He prayed for them. He prayed that God's hand would always be upon them, whatever they were doing. I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to say this. Don't ever say what your child won't do. Pray what your child won't do. Let me say that again. Don't ever say what your child won't do. Pray what your child won't do. Rehearse that, you'll catch it if you didn't. From the story of Job, we also learn that Job had friends. Job had friends, and in the beginning of their visit with Job, things went very well because his friends kept their mouths shut. Oh, but when they started talking, they let Job know what they really thought about him. They let Job know how they really felt about him. And when people let you know how they feel about you, no matter what you think they think, when they let you know what they really think about you, when they let you know what they feel in their heart about you, believe it. See, Job's friends knew who he was. Job's friends knew how he was, but Job's friends came, and when they started talking, all they had is allegations against Job for why he was going through all that he was going through. I remember my own life going through something, and I had a friend tell me, oh, God whooping you, so you just got to take it. It's something you did. God whooping you for it, so you just got to take it. I'm not going to accept that. Job had lost all his children and all his possessions, and he's sitting there grieving, having sickness in his body. But Job's friends had no words of encouragement, no prayers to offer, and no support to give. All they had to offer was accusations and bad advice that Job refused to accept. And I've come to tell somebody today that it is not the advice that you are given, it's the advice that you take. And speaking of bad advice, let me tell you about Job's wife, Mrs. Curse God and die. A lot of folks, we debated that and we preached on it, we taught on it over the years, curse God and die. Well, I'm going to tell you like this, she's a kept woman. She's married to a rich man. And in those days, she couldn't just leave him because he lost it all, because he's sick. She couldn't just leave him because if she does, she can't remarry. But if Job dies, she can go get her another rich man to keep that lifestyle going. Miss Curse Your God. Job's wife, y'all, serves as a prime example why people who are going through don't reach out to people close to them or anybody at all in some cases. Lack of understanding, self-centered advice, and apathetic judgment. Job fired back at her. Read it. I ain't gonna give it all to you. You got to go get some of it yourself. But Job's wife showed why people would rather bottle up than release. There was also a young man in the presence of Job and his friends. This young man, sitting among the elders, normally would be just sitting listening. But this young man offered advice to Job after everybody had their rounds of talking. Job's friends gave 3 rounds each of talking. Job's wife didn't have to say what she had to say. Job getting up next to her beside himself. And the advice that this young man gave was, it ushered in God's presence once Job heeded the advice. Shut up, humble yourself. Pretty much what he said. But ain't it something, y'all, how the best advice sometimes comes from the least likely place. The best advice sometimes that we get in our lives came from somewhere or somebody we didn't expect. Really didn't even ask for it. But they gave it to us. And that's why it would behoove us to be open-minded and discerning in all things. Upon examination of the story of Job, it becomes apparent that Job had everything, including an enemy. Not only did Job have an enemy, but he had an enemy that he had done nothing to. Not only did Job have an enemy that he did nothing to, but Job had an enemy that had an agenda. Now, either one of these types of enemies is dangerous. An enemy is just dangerous, period. But an enemy who's your enemy that you ain't done nothing to, that's even more dangerous. And the ultimate danger is an enemy that's got an agenda. And for Job, these were one in the same. His name? Satan. Satan goes before God one day. God just being God, angels being angels. Satan swing by and God say, hey, where you been? What you been up to? All to and fro, up and down in the earth, seeking whom I may devour. Who can I eat up? I like to eat them up. I like to tear them apart. I like to tear them down. That's what Satan say he been up to. God say, yeah. How you been doing with that? Oh, I've been doing good, as you know. Yeah, well, in your travels, you passed by Job's house. Yeah, I went by there and I was going to try. I was going to see how good I could eat them up. But you have a hedge of protection around it. And as long as you got that hedge of protection around him, I can't do nothing to him. I can't get to him. He's so into you that I can't do nothing to him. Yes, it's possibly so into God that the devil can't touch you. He said, but if you remove that hedge of protection, I'll make him curse you. God said, I tell you what, you can go there and touch his things, but you can't touch him. Satan went there and he touched the things. He took everything away, all the possessions, his children, wiped them out. Job remained faithful to God. So when the devil go before God again, God happens to say, hey man, where you been? The cycle repeats. He to and fro, up and down the earth, seeking whom I can't devour. Say, yes, so what you think about Job? You told me that if I moved the hedge of protection, you can make it curse me. I let you take away all his children, all his things, and he ain't do it. He said, yeah, but he in perfect health still. Let me go touch his body. I'll make him curse you. Promise I will. Okay, I tell you what, you can touch his body, but you can't take his life. So he goes and he takes Job's health. Job still remains faithful to God. Job had an enemy that he had done nothing to. He ain't did nothing to Satan. But Satan had an agenda. He's out to show what he can do to a man who is faithful to God. You ain't did nothing to Satan. You ain't did nothing to deserve the hell you going through. But he wants to show that he can make you be unfaithful. He can make you turn against God. He can make you turn away from God. He can make you forget that God's, that's his agenda. Prove him wrong. Remain faithful. Stay on the battlefield. Keep going forward. Keep God in sight. Keep God. Stay on God's side. Don't walk away. Don't give Satan that victory. He remained faithful. Some of the things Job said might have been erroneous, but as he was going through, he said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Well, the Lord had allowed, the Lord gave and the Lord had allowed to take away. Job says, shall we always expect good and never evil? Because if we always had good and never anything evil, we wouldn't appreciate the good that we have. Man that is born of a woman is of few short days and full of trouble. He's like the grass that springs up and is soon cut down. My brothers and sisters, I would contend that Job's original outlook, as he remained faithful, and as he did not speak against God, his original outlook was based upon his belief that he could lose everything and still be all good as long as he did not lose his God. As long as I can see God, as long as God is on my side, as long as I know God got my back, I ain't worried about it. These things, these children, okay. Stuff comes, stuff goes. Sun rises, sun sets. Grass withers and the flower fadeth. Unfortunately, somewhere along the way, Job lost sight of God and panicked. And when Job panicked, he started tripping. That's when Job started talking about God being unjust. With all he did, how good a person he was, how he remained faithful, yet God is not faithful to him. How he worked so hard to help everybody in need, but now that he has become among the poor, God is not there to help him. He started tripping. And there is nothing unnatural. There is nothing unusual about how Job reacted when he could no longer see God. Job panicked the same way we used to panic back in the day when we got lost in the store, when we couldn't see our parents. Come on, y'all remember back in the day. See, they don't have department stores like they did today. They got Walmart, they got Target, so, kids might know a little bit, but people keep up with their kids now. Too much going on. They keep the kids in the cart. They keep the kids next to them. But back in the day when we had Zare, when we had Venture, when we had Kresge's, when we had Woolworth, come on, I'm going back there, y'all. See, when we had Sears, Roebuck and Company, before it was Sears, Roebuck and Company, when we had Kmart, Toys R Us, KB Toys, if you went out there to Ford City, our parents would allow us to go play with the toys while they shop. Or we might be looking at some toys or something while they shopping, and they carrying on shopping, and We look and we lost our parents. We don't see our parents. Now we get scared. Oh my God, where is my mama? Where is my daddy? Where is my teacher? Whoever I'm here with. We get scared because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going on. We just know we don't see them. But y'all, can I tell you something that they had back then? Back then, y'all, they still have it, but it ain't like it is now. They had a customer service desk. If you could just get to the desk. If you could just make it over to the person behind the desk. Come on, somebody, preach this thing with me. If you don't, I'll preach it along. If you could just get to the person behind the desk. When you told them, say, hey, I can't find my mama, my daddy, my TT, whoever you're there with. I can't find them. I've lost them. They know you're scared. They can see the fear. They can hear the fear. And they get on the microphone and they call, but they'd ask your name. And they say, will the guardian of Conde come to the service desk? Will the parent of come to the desk? Will the mother, the father, whoever? They might even call them by name if you told them the name that you needed, the person you needed them to identify. They call them by name. I came to tell somebody, this is my sidebar this morning, y'all. I came to tell somebody that you need to get yourself somebody that you can go to when you can't see the Father. You need to get you somebody that you can go to their desk. You can go to their place. You can go to this person and they'll call the Father for you. They'll say, hey, I need you to come get Conde. I need you to come see about Conde. He's lost and can't find you. He don't know where he at. He's lost sight of you. He got away from you. I need you to come see about him and pick him up. You need to get you somebody like that. Let me tell you two more things. We'll wrap up this edition of the Sunday Morning Breakfast Podcast. Just like with Job, God has a way of getting our attention, reminding us of who he is, getting us back in our place, and restoring us once we shut up and listen to what he has to say. Well, first we got to shut up and listen to what he got to say. See, after Job shut his mouth, that's the first thing. The second thing, after Job shut his mouth and listened to God, Job once again realized something he had forgotten. See, when you can't see God, it's easy to forget some things. But see, Job, now that he sees God, now that he's in communication with God, see, he should have been communicating from the beginning, but you know how we are. You know how we are. We got to try to figure it out ourselves. Why am I going through it and how do I fix it? Then we go to God after we realize ain't nothing we can do about it. Well, Job realized that his hope was not in his children or his possessions. Job realized that his hope was not in his friends or in his wife. Job realized that his hope was not in his accomplishments, his philanthropy, his health, or himself. Job realized that his hope was in God and God alone. It reminds me of that old song, that old hymn. It says, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. When darkness veils his lovely face, I rest on his unchanging grace. In every high and stormy gale, my anchor holds within the veil. His oath, his covenant, his blood, support me in the whelming flood. When all around my soul gives way, he then is all my hope and stay. When he shall come with trumpet sound, oh, may I then in him be found, dressed in the righteousness alone, faultless to stand before the throne. In case you don't know that song, let me give you the chorus. The chorus of that song says, my hope is built on nothing less. Than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not, well, that's the first, I'm going back through the first, y'all. Dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean upon his name. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. Can I tell you something about sinking sand? Before I get out, I'm going to tell you about sinking sand. And I'm going to get on out of here. I know I said two things, but let me tell you about this sinking sand. See, if you ever saw quicksand Quicksand is something that you don't necessarily notice right off the bat. Quicksand, you can be walking right along the way and everything is just fine, and all of a sudden you find yourself sinking in what you thought was holding you up. You can be walking and you just enjoying yourself, and all of a sudden you find yourself sinking. And quicksand, when it gets hold to you, it holds on to you. If you panic, it'll take you on down under. But you got to ease your way out of quicksand. You got to go slow in quicksand. There are certain motions you have to make while you're in the quicksand in order to get out the quicksand. Because if you don't, it'll take you all the way under. It'll kill you. But you got to lean back and take it easy coming out. I'm not going to give you the full process. But you got to take it easy getting out. You can't just try to rush out of it, because the harder you push and the faster, the more it's going to take you. Quicksand is something that you didn't expect to fall from underneath you, but it did. You expected it to keep holding you up as you walk through life, but that thing gave way on you. That's sinking sand. But on that solid rock, on that solid rock, there is no falling through. Let me give it to you another way. Somebody missing it. Let me give it to you this other way. And I promise after this, I'm going to get on out of here. Not long after moving to Indiana, I was the first winter here. I got up, going to work early one morning. I was going about my way. went to get on the expressway. And as I went to merge over, there ain't no traffic out there. But I ain't going too fast, just got on. I hit some black ice and I began to spin. When I began to spin, the car ended up going backwards and halfway off the road into a ditch. I didn't know at the time what was in the ditch. I just know I was halfway down in the ditch. As I sat there and I tried to come up out of it, the car wouldn't go forward. It wouldn't go backwards, it wouldn't go forward. I just couldn't. I say, maybe if I rock it, it'll move. Well, I couldn't go forward no matter how hard I tried. Every time I see a brake, because I was afraid that if I hit the gas too hard and come flying out, a truck would be coming and splat me. So I just kept, every time I saw opening, I hit it again. As I was sitting there, I'm looking at people going by, and they just going on by, and ain't nobody paying me no never mind. Some folks might have been going by, and they say, well, that's a him problem, not a me problem. That's how people will do you. They'll say that's a them problem, not a my problem, and they'll keep on going right past you. But then there was one guy that stopped and said, hey, yo, you good over there? I say, yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to get up out this hole. That's how it happens in life. You can be stuck somewhere down in the sinking sand, and somebody will stop and say, hey, you good? And they go keep on going. But let me tell you, because they ain't got nothing to offer you, but they at least gonna look your way. And I called 911. And then I told them where I was at, and they said, well, I'm checking the camera and I don't see you. We'll get somebody out there. So I just kept trying. They're calling, hey, are you still? Yeah, I'm still here. I got my flashers on, my headlights are on. I'm flashing them. Can you see me? I was doing everything. They say they're looking on the camera in the area I'm supposed to be in, but they don't see anything going on. That's how it is in life. You can get down in a rut, and people that's supposed to be able to help you, the one that's supposed to be able to see you, say, I can't see you. Yeah, John Cena, they don't see you. They don't see what you're going through, but they're the ones that you're supposed to be able to count on. Well, I kept praying to God, and eventually I got up out of there. And when I got up out of there, I noticed something. There was a light on the dash for the tire. Well, I'm hearing this bumping sound. I got a flat tire and nowhere to get out. So I just limped on home. Limped the car on home in the cold and called the job, told them I ain't coming, and went on back to bed. I took my rest. But let me tell y'all something. That's life. Sometime in life we get stuck in a rut, and when we come out, we got some damages. I had some scratches on the car. I had reeds sticking out my tire. I had some flat tires that I had to limp on back home with. Come one day, see y'all when morning came. I got up and I went and I had to get new tires. I had to go to the shop, and the man said, yeah, you're going to have to get some new tires because it had poked through the firewall. Well, it'll come one day. Yeah, that's how life is. We getting some ruts, and when we come out, we got some damages. We got to limp our way home. But in the morning, y'all, in that great morning, I know what I'm going through now. It's just leading me to that morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I just got to keep pressing on and limp my way home. In this life, we'll have some struggles and trials, but we just got to keep going and trusting in God. Because if you read at the end of the book of Job, it says his latter was greater than his former. One of these days in this life, I'm going to get up out the mess I'm in, and my latter will be better than my former. Say that to yourself in the mirror. My latter will be better than my former. Then come one day, we'll limp our way on home, and when we rise in the morning, we'll have new ties, because I heard there's a new robe over in glory. There's a new name over in glory. Old song we used to say, I got a new home over in glory, and it's mine, all mine. My latter will be greater than my former. Be blessed, my brothers. Be blessed, my sisters. Read that book. Read that book. I love you. God loves you. And that dumb thing, you, me, nobody else can do about it.